Good morning, you all. So I have a MRI of my stomach this morning, and for those of you who may not know or haven't been following me, I have some stomach issues going on and have had a plethora of tests done. I've had an endoscopy, I had some ultrasounds, and I did the H. pylori test and waiting for results. But so the last test I have to do is a MRI, and I am starving because I woke up this morning, did my workout and just had a couple sips of water because I'm not quite sure if I probably shouldn't have anything on my stomach. But I have my smoothie right here in my hand, ready for as soon as I get done with this test, I am going to have my breakfast right here. But if you guys, just want to come along on this journey with me, right here on TikTok, and for those of you who are watching on Instagram, go follow me on TikTok, where I post just my journey of what's going on with my stomach, how I'm going to use my foods, particularly my smoothies, clean up my diet just a little bit more than it is right now, and start to make more conscious effort of looking at what I eat and how it affects my digestive system, because each one of our microbiome is very different, you all. All our microbiomes are different. All our genetics are different, right? And I just know that I have always had digestive issues, probably will always have digestive issues, but I am doing my best to just kind of heal my body and prevent the issues that I'm having from getting any worse or becoming something, outside of my control, right? So just come along on this journey with me. I've already posted part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is part 6 of this journey of me taking you along with what's going on with my stomach and my digestive health, and my test results from my doctors and what I am going to do on my own in the meantime, and thereafter my results, you all. So gonna go in here for this MRI and wait God knows how long to get some results. People, you have to be an advocate for yourself. If there is one thing I would hope you get from this video, be an advocate of yourself. Some of these tests that I've done and these doctors I've seen, they're so dismissive, and they have no bedside manners, as we would say it, right? And they dismiss us, particularly as women. And I don't want to go there, but particularly as Black women, particularly as a Black migrant woman, they don't fucking take us seriously, right? And I'm not this type to say, as a woman I'm this and as Black I'm that, but I have noticed it and I've recognized it myself, and studies have shown that it is a fact. You have to be an advocate for yourself, for your overall well-being, for your health, right? And say, this is what I want, right? This is what I think you should do. Do your studies for yourself and ask intellectual questions that's going to put them out of their comfort zones just a little bit, and so they can understand that they're not dealing with an idiot, right? I may not be a doctor, right? But I know my body. I know the things that I eat that have some kind of effects on me, right? And I know the things that I don't eat that I probably should be eating, right? Some of that. But I'm not a doctor and I don't know it all, and I don't have these expensive machinery to run tests on my body. I can't do my own blood work, so I rely on these doctors just to help me with that, right? But you have to be an advocate of yourself, right? You have to say, this is what I want, this is what I think you should do. What do you think is a precursor of what I have going on? What do you think are some alternative to what I have going on? Have you ruled this out? Have you ruled that out? Or why did you rule this out? These are the things that you need to be asking your doctor. So let's go in here and do this test. This is just me going on my little rant this morning. Be an advocate of yourself, y'all. Let's go do this. Alrighty, you guys, so just like that, we are done. So, as I mentioned earlier, to be an advocate of yourself, it was kind of weird because when I did my endoscopy, the upper endoscopy, and I had to have an IV, one of my arms, my vein is just popping, right? Like popping. And I mentioned to the nurse if she could put the IV in the arm that is popping. She was like, no, I have to roll you on this side. And that kind of, I can't put the IV on the side that I'm rolling you on. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. And so today, I have to do IV again today, right? And gotta go to work, you all. So listen to my story. I had to do IV again today. What I did was an MRI of my stomach, right? My spleen, my pancreas, my liver, my gallbladder, my kidney, and my stomach, right? So they did one did it with and without contrast. So they have to put the IV in to put the contrast in. So it will help them see it differently, better, whatever. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the terminologies. So I mentioned to the nurse, I said to her, is there a reason why, you know, I asked the other doctor if they could put it, or the whatever, nurse, if they could put the IV in the other arm, and they didn't. She was like, they should have been able to. And she was like, why wouldn't they? This vein on this arm, she was like, it's so nice. Like, she was excited to see that vein. It was just popping and full of fluid and blood or whatever it is, but you could see it nice and popping. On this side, you don't even see a vein in my arm right here where they put the IV. And like, she got so upset. She was like, they should have been able to. It's like, why didn't you ask? I'm like, I told them, I showed them. She was like, I have done so. She said she's been a nurse for over 20 years. I've done all different kinds of procedure. People laying on their side, laying on their stomach, laying on their back, people laying in all different positions. And she was like, you can put the IV really whatever arm, you know, they want to, or whatever arm, obviously where the vein is. Y'all, I was bruised up in this arm for about a week because they wouldn't put the IV in that arm. Because I guess it was more of a convenience to them, to the doctor, made it just a little bit easier, but it wouldn't hurt me in any way, and it would actually be less discomfort to me, because when I say she was fighting to find a vein, and then when I went in, they had to flush it because the IV wasn't feeding, right? So it's almost like they had to readjust it. And this part of what I'm saying is being an advocate of yourself. So I thought to ask this nurse, so next time if I had to do this, I will know you're gonna put the damn IV in this arm over here. So, but let's talk just for a second about this MRI, you all. When I say, it was very strange because I've wondered, going into this dome like thing, and it was like this, and they put my whole body into it, and the IV in my arm, and I had to, you know, kind of hold my arm up. So he did it without the contrast, right? And then halfway through he pulled me out and then start the IV to get the contrast in. I don't really feel anything. Had a sensation of whatever the liquid is or fluid that they're putting into my body, the contrast is, but no real discomfort. But the dome is like, I mean, it took up my whole little body. Do they have bigger ones for people who are of different sizes? Because I've never seen that before, and I've always kind of wondered about that. And what about people who are claustrophobic? Like, if you have anxiety and stuff like that, because when you first go in, it gives you that sense like, oh shit, right? Like, but do they have them for people of different sizes? And then what if you are claustrophobic or have anxiety? Will they stop it and just give you a break or whatever? I've wondered about that, and I should have asked the nurse, but you know, they were busy or whatever. But if anybody out there that knows, then this shit is loud. It is loud as all get out. Like, you hear the bing, 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 hammer, 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 breathe in, breathe out. Like, that's just what it is. If you've never had an MRI before, this is kind of what you'll probably have to prepare yourself for. You guys, it doesn't hurt, and there's really no discomfort to me. But if you are someone who has some kind of anxiety or anything like that, or you're really claustrophobic, or you are someone of a bigger size, like, I don't know if they make them bigger sizes, but that was my experience today, you all. And in the effort for me to share with you what's going on with my stomach, once I get all these results back, I will do probably a part 7 or 8 of this journey that I'm taking you on with me to find out what's going on with my stomach and what the heck I am going to do. But in the meantime, I'm not sitting down and waiting on results, you all. I am doing what I have to do. If you go back and watch my prior videos on this journey, you will see the things that I'm trying to reintroduce to my diet, trying to eliminate from my diet or minimize from my diet, the things that I'm doing to help myself, because I'm not sitting and waiting, on these doctors. I'm being an advocate of myself. So I think this is part 6, you all. Stay tuned for part 7. Hopefully it'll be the results of what it is these doctors find with all these MRIs and scans and endoscopies and all the stuff that they have going on. But in the meantime, have a drink, y'all.